অন আছে বাট এখানে হচ্ছে না তো।
एक्स्ट्रा से चली गई एक नेगेटिव हो जाए
হয়ে গেছে হয়ে গেছে।
So, hello bachcho, welcome to Fun Scholar. So, today's chapter is again plant reproduction. In the first two lectures, we have known about the parts of flower, how seeds are formed, how new plants are formed from seeds. Today, we will learn about how is seed being traveled from one place to another. You know that plants can't move. They are fixed in a particular place. Have you ever seen a plant moving? I think you have never, because plants can't move. They can only grow. So how do the seeds from one place to another is being transported? This is the process which is known as seed dispersal. Seed dispersal, the word dispersal means transport of seed from one place to another place. Right? Okay. So how do this take place? The plant themselves cannot go from one place to another. So obviously they need help. They need help to move from one place to another. Suppose by chance your leg is broken, okay, or you are hurt. Even when you have seen a newborn baby, they can't move or walk. They are being carried by their parents or somebody else to another place, right? Same thing happens in case of plants. They need help. Now, who help the plants? Obviously, plants, they themselves cannot help them. So they need someone to help them to move. And that help is done by us, human beings, animals, right? Birds, insects. Same like pollination, seeds are also being dispersed in this way. So let us read. Plants cannot move as they are fixed at one place. This I have told you just now. So what happens when they grow but their seeds are great travelers? How? They can reach far and wide. The seeds travel from one place to another by the following methods. So who help the seeds to move? First is air. Air helps seeds to move. Okay. Second is by water. Third, I have told you, animals, birds. And fourth, explosion. Explosion means to burst out. Just like crackers do burst out when you hit fire to the cracker, same way the seeds burst out, and when bursting happens, the seeds spread to a large distance. Okay, so let us see how these things are happening. See, by air, these pollen grains or this kind of seeds are very light in nature, so they can be carried away by air. Coconut seed, it is when it can float in water and move from one place to another. That's why coconut tree goes near this watery place or near the sea. See, this animal is taking this fruit from one place to another, and after eating the fruit, it will leave the seed in a new place, and that if the favorable conditions are provided to the seed, it will grow again into the plant. Same thing is happening with the bird. The birds are eating the seed. The birds are eating the fruits along with the seed, and the seeds are very tiny. They are not digested. They are being excreted through birds' potty, or what you can say, excretory matter. So in this way, the seeds are being dispersed. Again, the monkeys are eating the fruits and are throwing the seeds away. So in this way, the seeds move from one place to another. So who are helping the plants to move seeds from one place to another? Air, water, animals, birds, and even not only we human beings, we eat fruits and vegetables and throw the seeds here and there. That's why the different kinds of plants are found in different places. Okay. Now let's go to detail of seed dispersal. See, some seeds are carried to the new place by wind. This is the seed of dandelion plant. Just look at one seed over here. This is the seed, and the seeds have hair-like growings. Hair-like outgrowth. Okay, and they are very light in nature. And when anything is very light in nature, it is easily being blown away by the air or wind. So what happens? These seeds are very light. Okay, almost like a fine dust. Dust are carried away by wind. Same way, these seeds are very light, very minute. That's why they are being carried by wind. Okay, many seeds like that of dandelion have hairy outgrowths. I have already mentioned you over here. So this acts as parachute. You have seen parachute. How does it looks like? It is someone like that, and the man is over here. So it is forming. It is being carried away by the wind because of the structure. Okay, same way, this because of the structure of the seeds are being carried away by the wind. Okay, which acts as parachutes and carry the seeds far away in the wind. The fruits of sycamore have winged seeds and are dispersed by the wind. Okay, dandelion one example, sycamore another example. Here the seeds are carried in case of dandelion, and sycamore the fruits are very light. That's why they have winged seeds and are dispersed by the wind from one place to another. Okay, now next. Dispersal by animals. I have just now told you, just look at the picture. The squirrel is eating its nut, and after eating the nut, do you think it will eat the seed also? The seed is very hard, so it does not eat the seed. After eating the fruit, the seed is being thrown by the squirrel, and if the seed gets favorable condition, it will ultimately grow into a tree. Birds, I have already told you, it eats the fruit, see, along with the seeds. And the seeds are not being digested in the body. The seeds are being thrown out with their excretory material. Third, see, a bird is flying from somewhere. It has plucked the fruit and is carrying the fruit in a different place. After that, it will eat it and throw away the seed, or the seed will be eaten along with the fruit, and again through excretion it will release it and it will fall on the ground. If they get the favorable condition, it will grow into a neem tree. Now see, some plants have juicy fruits. That's why we like to eat fruit, because it is tasty. Obviously, for the first priority is our taste. Then we come to know about why we are eating food. It is containing minerals, vitamins, etc., etc., etc. But firstly, fruits are very tasty. That is why we are eating the fruits. Now, why are the fruits tasty? The fruits are being tasty. The nature or the plant has made it tasty so that we or some other animals are attracted to it, and we eat that fleshy part of the fruit and throw away the seeds. So these fruits and vegetables are created by plants for not only for their own storage, but to attract other animals. In this way, we are also being benefited from the plants, and the plants are also being benefited by this process because we are not consuming the seeds. Some seeds we do consume, it's right, but in most fruits we don't eat the seeds. We throw it out. So that's why seed is being dispersed from one place to another. Now just read. Only the juicy, fleshy part of the fruits is digested in this animal's body. Right? Just now I have told you. Then what happened? The seeds are excreted out. This also I have told you. Examples are blackberry, cherry, apples. Some fruits like that of that of burdock plant and dhatura have seeds with hook-like structure which get attached to the fur of the animals and carried away with the animals. Just like how pollen grains are transmitted, they get attached to the animal and it's being transmitted from the stamen to the stigma. Similar way, there are some fruits of dhatura and burdock plant. Okay, they have hook-like structure. Hook looks how? Hook looks like this, right? So it has hook-like structure. So when the animal comes near the plant or to eat the fruits or something else to eat the plants or the leaves, these fruits get stuck to the body of the animal and are being carried from one place to another. Now by water, I have told you that coconut seeds can travel or float in water, though it looks heavy, but its outer covering is made in such way that it can float in water. So a thing, if they can float in water, just like boats, they travel from one place to another. So in oceans, what happens when a seed gets or falls into the ocean at water, they are being carried away thousands of kilometers by that water without being getting destroyed. And if they gets too near a island or some other land mass and gets the favorable condition, they will grow into a big coconut tree. Okay, see, some seeds can float on water. So one of those is coconut seed. Now coconut seeds can travel thousands of kilometers across seas and ocean. Okay, I have told you another plant which travels through water are seeds of lotus and lily. They are water plants and their seeds are also being dispersed by water only. Now explosion. I have just now told you that to burst out. Just look at the picture. When the seed is ripe, they burst out. See, when the seed is like this. This is pea plant. You have often opened the pea plant. See, just open the pea plant and it will spread to a large area. See, when it bursts out automatically, the seeds are dispersed to a large area. And why seed dispersal is necessary? Suppose this is a tree and all the seeds fall on the same place. Okay, some will grow, some will not grow. So, competition for water, sunlight, air, soil, minerals, etc. will increase and maximum and maximum plants will die due to heavy competition. Maximum plants will die due to heavy competition. Suppose every seeds are falling, so some trees are growing, they are again creating seeds. All the seeds are falling in the same place, same place, same place. So do you think that you will be able to grow all the seeds that are being produced? The plants produces a lot and lots of seeds. Not every seeds are getting the favorable condition if they are falling in the same place. So there will be huge competition for water, sunlight, air, soil, minerals, etc. And due to this increased competition, what will happen? Maximum plants will die off. Okay. The same thing is happening in India also nowadays because of huge population. Everything is very expensive. Everything is too competitive. There are only one vacancy for job and maybe 1 lakh of people is fighting among themselves for that job. So same thing will happen with the seeds also. Just like we are competing due to extreme population, the seeds also will compete. To reduce that competition, nature has done what? Nature has created some way so that seeds are being dispersed to farther places and they form new plant when suitable conditions are favorable by them. Now see, some seeds are scattered away or fall far away from the parent plant by means of explosion. Examples are peas, beans, balsam, and also cotton plant. Okay. Now it's video time. So let's see.
In our previous video, we learned the fertilization process and what it leads to. The process helps in the formation of fruits and seeds enclosed in them. The seeds are the structures containing the embryo within. Now, all that's required is proper rooting of the seeds in the soil. This will result in germination and thus growth of a new plant. Now the question arises, how are these seeds fixed in the soil? Do they always get rooted near the parent plant from where they arise? Or sometimes at distances as well? Seeds can be dispersed to nearby or distant places as well, all thanks to the process of seed dispersal. The process by which seeds are dispersed to distant places by various agents is known as dispersal of seeds. Who are these agents? Seeds are transferred to various places by factors such as the wind, water, explosion, and animals. These agents make the process of dispersal of seeds easier. Let's now discuss about this process in detail. Our first agent of dispersal is the wind. Seeds of plants like dandelions have parachute-like or hair-like structures attached that are so light and weight that they easily get carried away by the wind. Thus, even the seeds get carried to distant places. What is the next agent we have in our list? It's water. Seeds which float, such as those of the lotus and coconut palm, are carried by water. You won't believe that coconuts can travel for thousands of kilometers across seas and oceans. Hard to believe, but they do. What is the next type of dispersal? Let me name it for you. It's called a dispersal by explosion. Don't just say explosion. You got me right. Then what exactly explodes in a plant? In some cases, seeds or pods containing seeds burst on their own. The pods dry and split working suddenly with considerable force which throws the seed at a distance. What are the examples of such type? We have plants like root and weed which belong to this category. Now these are all the abiotic agents. Last on the list are the biotic agents which we will have a look at. Biotic means living organisms. So are animals also responsible for dispersal of seeds? Yes, they are. Tell me one thing. What do they do with the seeds after eating juicy fruits? They generally throw away the seeds, right? Yes, that is how seeds from a plant growing in one area reach a completely different area. Plants are only benefited with the seed dispersal by animals. To understand this, let's take a simple example of birds. Birds also relish on the juicy fruits that have seeds within. In many cases, the seeds of the plants are too tough to germinate if planted directly into the soil. Now, if such a fruit is consumed by a bird, then the seed does not get digested in the bird's body and is thrown away directly. However, the hard seed cover softens a bit due to the chemical activity of the acids present in the bird's stomach. So, as the seed passes through the bird's gut, it gets soft, and when it drops on the ground and gets rooted, it becomes easy for the seed to germinate. This is how animals can help in far and wide dispersal of seeds. Can you name some seeds which belong to this category? Blackberry, cherry, apple, and so many healthy fruits have seeds that are dispersed by animals. Now tell me, why do we need this dispersal process? I mean, what will happen if the seeds from the parent plant get planted near it? Being near the parent plant could severely affect the growth and development of both the plants. And why so? The two will start competing for sunlight and water. That is the reason why seed dispersal is extremely useful for plants.
So I think the topic seed dispersal is clear to you through my teaching and also through the video. So our next topic is agriculture. Okay. So what is agriculture, ma'am? You have often heard that India is an agricultural country, not industrial. India is an agro-based country. What does the term agro means? Agro means agriculture. So in our country, 70% of people are are engaged in the process of agriculture. Rest 30% are in the other sectors. So agriculture is a large or huge sector in our developing country India. So what is agriculture, ma'am? Agriculture is a process by which same or different kinds of plant are grown in huge quantity on a particular land at a particular time period. So what did I see? Said, just read. The practice of growing plants on large scale for food or other purposes is called agriculture. For food, you know, rice, wheat, pulses, etc. Other purposes, growing of tea, then flowers, then jute, then cotton, everything comes under other purposes, not only for food, for other materials like from jute, cotton, flowers, tea, coffee, etc. comes under agriculture. So what is agriculture? Agriculture is a process by which the same different types of plants or same type of plant is grown by farmers in a particular place at a particular season in a particular area. So agriculture is the practice of growing plants on large scale. For why, ma'am? Why we need to do this? Because of food and other purposes. Whatever we eat, that is being collected by the process of agriculture only. Okay. Now what is a crop? Agriculture is the process. The plant that is grown in agriculture is called crop. What is the difference between crop and a simple plant? A simple plant grows by its own, okay? But agriculture is totally dependent on a human being, that is none but the farmers. The people who does agriculture are known as farmer. So crop is what? How it is different from plant? Plant is something that is not grown in large amount. Okay. But crop is a specific plant that is grown in large scale. Okay. By whom? By the human being. Which human being? Especially the farmers. And how it is different from natural process? Because taking care of plant, everything is done by man or machine, and it is not nature dependent. Okay, it is fully dependent on humans for its production. So let's read. Plants that are grown in large quantities in a particular area or a region during a particular season is called crop. Right? I have told you how crop is different from plant and why plants are called plants and crop is crop. It is fully dependent on what? Human. The plants may or may not be dependent on human or nature. Okay? But crops are totally dependent on human being. Okay? Now next. In India, so as you know that any seed can't grow into a plant. A seed needs some favorable conditions and you have learned about those conditions, right? So in case of cultivating a same plant, there are some conditions that has to be fulfilled. Until and unless those are met, the crop will not grow. So what are the conditions? First condition, just like plants, the crops need water and nutrients from the soil to grow well. Okay? And from water and nutrients are provided by whom? Not only nature? No. Here they are provided by the farmers. Okay? They get nutrient from manures and fertilizers. Okay? What is manure? Manure is cow dung or something of natural origin. And what is fertilizer? Fertilizer is man made by man. Okay? And what is the function of manures and fertilizers? They provide nutrition to the crop. Okay? Fertilizers are specific in their action and provide on or more particular nutrients, whereas manures generally improve soil fertility by increasing humus content. Humus is nothing but organic mass that is produced by nature itself, just like cow dung. Okay, understood how crop conditions of crops are different from conditions of a simple plant to grow? They need the help of farmers. The farmers provide water, nutrients, and how the nutrients are provided? They are being provided through manures and fertilizers. Fertilizers provides nutrients, whereas manure increase the fertility of the soil so that the nutrients can be absorbed by the plant. Understood? Okay. See difference between fertilizer and manure. So this is what this is cow dung, which comes under manure. Okay, this is fertilizer. Example of fertilizer is 2,4-D. बस इतना you remember. Second, it is man-made. It is natural. Okay, it contains chemicals that is harmful for our environment. Okay, it is good for our environment. Fourth, is it visible or should I change the color? It provides nutrients to the plant, and over here it provides humus to the plant. So fertilizer example is 2,4-D, manure is cow dung. It is man-made, obviously it is natural. Okay, it contains chemical which is harmful for the environment, but it does not contain any chemical. It is natural, so it is good for our environment. So the main function of fertilizer is to provide nutrients to the plant, and it provides humus or organic mass to the plant. Now students, please do take a screenshot of the what I have written in the difference. Okay, I hope you have understood and took the screenshot. Now conditions of the crop continues again. So firstly, let me show you a process. How agriculture is being done. Firstly, the field is plowed. Plowed means what? Plowed means, see, a tractor is going through the field, okay, or digging the soil so that lower layer of the soil comes to the upper layer. This mixing of soil helps the farmers to make the soil fertile. Okay. Second, what is done? The manure or fertilizers are added to the soil. Why? Because manure and fertilizers are nutrients and organic mass which will be needed for the plant. Okay. Third, the seeds are sown. Sown means the seeds are being deposited on the place where it was plowed and manures and fertilizers were added in that place. Okay. Second, what does the plant need? The plants need water to grow. So this process of watering of plants in agricultural term is known as irrigation. Okay, right? Irrigation. Okay. Now the plants are getting the nutrients, minerals, light, proper soil, water. Okay. Because here there is no competition as water is being given to every plant. Every plant is getting the same nutrients. Every plant is getting the same amount of light and air. Okay. Second, to protect the plant, what do man do? They spray chemicals known as pesticides to protect them from what? From pest. Now what is pest, ma'am? Pests are those organisms that cause harm to the growing crop. Example of pest is rat, insects, etc. Okay. And last is the crops are harvested and the chemicals that is used to kill that pest are known as what? Pesticides. Okay. And lastly, when the crops are ready, then the crops are harvested. Harvested means, see, cutting down the grown crops. Okay. These are the stages of agriculture. See, the field is plowed, manure is added, seeds are sown, the field is irrigated with water, pesticides are sprayed, the crops are harvested. This is the whole process of agriculture. So please take the screenshot and write down the points I have given for your study. Done? Okay. Now come back to this point. Say I have told you, now just read. Crops need protection from birds, insect, rats and pests both before and after harvesting. Harvesting what? Cutting down of crops. Cutting down the crops. So what, from where, from which animals or from what they need protection? They need protection from birds, insects, rats and pests. Okay. So to kill the pest, what is being used? Pesticides are used. Okay. But you can't kill the birds because killing insects is not a crime, but taking a bird's life is crime. Okay. So, and birds are lesser quantity than insects. So, how will you shoo away the birds? What will you do? See, you can use scarecrow. The bird will think there is a man standing in the ground and they will get scared and fly away. See, farmers use scarecrows to scare away birds from fields where the crops are grown. Okay. Throughout the day, it is not possible a person to stand in the field and shoo away the birds. So what they use? They use scarecrows, which looks like a man to the bird. So the bird gets scared and they fly off. Okay, and that's how the crops are being saved from birds and from other pests. What they use? They use a spray called pesticides. Okay. Now agriculture is done. So agriculture in India, India is a land where there is coastal plain, where there is plateau, there is mountain, there are plains. So different kinds of land forms are there in India. So agriculture in a plain area is easy, okay. But what about mountains? It is not easy because mountains have steep slopes. So what they have done, just look at the picture, they have cut down the mountains into steps, right? These are steps looking like steps. So in mountains, when people they cut down the land into steps so that in this part agriculture can be done easily. This type of farming is known as terrace farming. It does not mean the roof in your above your house. Terrace here means cutting down the mountain into steps. Okay. In hilly region, people grow crop by cutting steps into the mountains. This is known as step farming or terrace farming. Okay. Also, because of creating the step, the other name of terrace farming is nothing but step farming. Okay. Understood? I hope the things are clear to you. Now, crops. We know what is crop. So, India is a land where mainly two types of crops are grown. Why? Because the weather changes throughout the year. Okay. So, we have rainy season, we have summer season, we have autumn, spring, and winter. Right? I think you have read this in your geography or SST. So what happens? So India is basically a place where different kinds of season takes place. So one crop is not grown throughout the year. In different season, different types of crops are grown. That is why India is such a place where different varieties of crops can be found in comparison to other countries. So what happens? Basically, there are two types of season considered in India. One is rainy season where crops are grown which needs maximum water, and another is considered winter or autumn. Best it will be autumn where there is little rainfall, so crops grown during this period needs minimum water. Okay, so there are some crops which are grown in rainy season. Why? Because during the rainy season there is maximum rain and there are specific crops which need plenty of water to grow. Okay, and second one is during the autumn season. Okay, the crops are being planted at those time because those crop does not need much water. And what happens if you get natural water, so the process of irrigation is required less, and process of irrigation is too costly for every farmer to afford, because you have to provide same amount of water to each and every plant. But what happens if you plant those in rainy time? Every plant will get the same amount of water with the help of nature, and you won't be needing any extra effort in that case. Okay? Though, so the plants that grow during the rainy are matlab grown during rainy season are known as kharif crops. Okay? Now let's read. In India, crops are grown from June to October. June to October, why? Because we plant the seeds during June and the harvesting occurs during October. Okay, why in June? Because from June onwards, the monsoon or the rainy season begins in India. And why in this seasons a few crops are grown? Because they need lots and lots of water. That is why. So such crops that grow from June to October are known as kharif crops. Okay. Now see, these crops are largely dependent on monsoon rains. Examples are rice. Okay. Rice is the most important crop that needs a lot and lot of rain. Okay? Understood? I hope you have. Now rice, castor, maize, millet, they are examples of kharif crop. Now another crop is there which grows from November to April. Why from November? Because these crops does not need a large quantity of water. Those crops are known as Rabi crops. Rainy season crops are known as Kharif crops, and the autumn during winter which crops are grown, they need it is known as Rabi crops. These crops do not depend on the monsoon rains. Okay, very good. So what will be the example? Example will be wheat. Okay, and legumes. Rice, also you can write bajra. Okay, these are the few crops that grow during the winter season from November to April. From November the crops are being planted and it is being harvested during April. See, wheat, oats, bajra, barley, etc. Okay, so that was for today. I hope you have understood plant reproduction in all the three lectures and cleared your concept. So students, please do learn and practice till your next class. All the best. See you in the next class.